The Adventure of the Speckled Band is one of the most famous Sherlock Holmes mysteries because it turns a bedroom into a puzzle box. There is a terrified woman, a locked room, a strange whistle at night, and a set of details that seem meaningless until Holmes places them in the right order. The story is not only about who is guilty, it is about how danger can hide inside the ordinary. The case begins with Helen Stoner, who comes to Holmes and Watson in fear. Her sister died under mysterious circumstances, and her last words were about a speckled band. Helen now hears the same whistle her sister heard before dying. Doyle gives the reader a clean hook. If the room was locked, how did death enter? Holmes listens carefully because the clues are physical. The household is controlled by Dr. Grimesby Roylott, a violent stepfather with money motives and a history of brutality. But Holmes does not solve the case by guessing his personality. He solves it by reading the room, the bed, the bell rope, the ventilator, and the strange arrangement of objects. The bell rope is especially important because it does not work. In a Sherlock Holmes story, a useless detail is rarely useless. It is a question disguised as furniture. Why place a bell rope where it cannot ring? Why fix the bed in one position? Why connect the bedroom to another room with a ventilator? Each answer narrows the mystery. The genius of the story is that the locked room is not impossible. It is engineered. Roylott has created a private path for murder, using the room itself as a machine. The whistle is not a ghostly signal, it is a command. The danger does not break through the door because the door was never the true entrance. Holmes and Watson spend the night in the room, waiting in darkness. This is where the story becomes almost gothic. The detective has reasoned his way to the trap, but he still has to sit inside it. The atmosphere matters, silence, tension, and the fear that the clue may become real before the explanation arrives. When Holmes strikes, the truth is revealed through action. The speckled band is a snake, trained and directed through the ventilator. Roylott's plan turns back on him, and the murderer dies by the method he designed. Doyle gives the ending a moral symmetry. The secret weapon returns to its master. The meaning of the speckled band goes beyond the trick. It shows Holmes as a reader of spaces, not just people. He notices what the room wants the victim to do, where the body must lie, and which details have been arranged by another mind. The mystery teaches that architecture, objects, and habits can all become evidence. For readers, this is a classic example of clue-based detective fiction. The answer is shocking, but it is not random. Doyle plants the physical logic early, then lets Holmes connect it. That is why the story still works. The solution feels surprising and inevitable at the same time. This episode is supported by Bookspace, a place for people who love books to discover new titles and connect with readers who share similar taste. If Sherlock Holmes, locked rooms, and classic mysteries keep you reading, Bookspace helps the next book find you. The story also matters because it shows how Doyle balances horror with logic. The atmosphere is almost supernatural. A young woman dies, a whistle sounds in the dark, and a strange phrase becomes her final message. But Holmes refuses to treat fear as an explanation. He respects the terror while still asking what physical path the danger used. That balance is why Sherlock Holmes stories remain useful for readers today. They train attention. A clue is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is a bed that cannot move, a bell rope that has no purpose, or a tiny connection between two rooms. The detective's gift is not magic. It is disciplined noticing. In the end, The Speckled Band is a story about controlled space. Roylott tries to control his stepdaughters, their money, their rooms, and even the route death will take. Holmes breaks that control by seeing the design. The locked room stops being a mystery when the hidden system becomes visible.